Hi, for what it's worth, I'm Mike, that's Justin, and today we're going to talk the Royal Rumble recap.
Yeah, real fast, we'll mention the pre-show matches. You had,
Yeah, real fast because I talk a lot about this stuff. First, we had a pre-mix match or a two-team match with Dawson and Razor
against
of
Gable
AOP, since I guess that his partner is injured temporarily for a little while, and so they're gonna not be wrestling as a team, so they needed to put them both together. If they won, they had a title shot for both teams coming up later in the future, but they didn't win. They couldn't work together as a team, and miscommunication is what ended up costing the match, and that was just time filler, just like the rest of the shows that were on the pre-show.
With the next match is Nakamura and Rusev.
That was for the U.S. Championship?
Yep, that was necessary to happen the way it happened for later in the show. Nakamura's talking to Lana, and Rusev's going to hit him.
No. Lana was saying, "You're cheating," as he was pulling apart the turnbuckle. And so then Shinsuke got in front of her. And
yep, Rusev goes to hit him. He moves. Rusev hits Lana. Lana hurts her ankle. And
my foot. Get up, Lana.
Nakamura hits the Kinshasa and pins Rusev, new U.S. champion.
Pre-show, that's why they put it there. So, maybe next time we'll watch a pre-show. Titles change hand there. So then came Buddy Murphy in the Fatal 4-Way with Hideo Itami, Tozawa, and Kalisto. Now, I had said that Itami was going to win this. This was a showcase, but if not, Buddy Murphy was going to have it done. Well, Itami did show out a little, but he was the one that took Murphy's Law and went to sleep. So, got pinned and ended the match. It was a good match. Everybody got their turn at making a spot, and then it was back to the champion. He's just too overpowering. He put it away.
Yeah, I chose Itami as well, and Murphy came away with it, but it was actually interesting to see, though.
Yeah, it was pretty good, especially how cleanly Buddy Murphy won again.
Yeah, the cruiserweights need more of a spotlight. They don't get enough attention, I don't think.
Buddy versus Leo, I gotta see that next.
Yeah. The next match to start off the Royal Rumble is Asuka and Becky Lynch.
Now, that was exactly what I thought it would be. A great start to a pay-per-view, great match. And, of course, who I chose won. Asuka. She really put it to her.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Went back and forth for quite a while. Asuka came away with the win. She put her in...
First, Asuka put her in the disarmer, and then Becky Lynch turned her around and put her in the Asuka lock, and then they reversed it back to the disarmer, and it was crazy. Back and forth. You just didn't know how it would go until finally Asuka put her away and made Becky tap.
Yeah, Becky tapped. Asuka won clean.
Unbelievable. The man tapped out to the Empress of Tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe she's the Empress of today now.
The future is here!
Next match was Shane McMahon and The Miz versus The Bar. This was no real surprise. McMahon and The Miz.
The Miz had his daddy out watching, and that's a good thing. I'm not making fun of him, but he brought his dad to really ingrain I have to do it for my daddy! So you knew they were winning the titles.
Yeah, they're trying to make The Miz a good guy, I think. Still, yes. I still think McMahon's going to get all that power to his head at some point.
I think Miz's dad is going to say, Shane won it, though. You didn't get the win. Shane did it. And it's going to create a wedge between the Miz, who's trying to be better for his dad, but Shane looks better to his dad, so now he's going to have to prove, I can beat Shane McMahon, who thinks he's the best in the world. I'm the best in the world.
Yeah, maybe that's how that happens. There was a shooting star press at the end of the match. Shane McMahon pulls off, and he did a bunch of Shane McMahon spots.
It was amazing. It was pretty good for what it was. Quick, simple, to the point, and new champs. Then it came on to the Women's Championship.
Rousey versus Banks. Another incredible match. Probably match of the night.
Oh, my arm, just looking at Ronda's arm put over on this side of her body, the way Sasha had it ripped back. Wow.
Yeah.
And I would have swore that she was going to tap out.
She did a very good job of selling the injury to her arm.
Sasha took a pretty good beating on her arm too, but wow, yeah, Ronda. I give you props for being able to stand through that or make it through that, because you weren't standing through that. She had you on the mat. But Sasha took it to, as well. So it was well earned, big fight, good fight. And they set up again for Monday Night Raw. Ooh, and that was pretty good. We'll talk about that on the Raw video. Now, after that was the Royal Rumble, the female Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. And that started with Lacey Evans from NXT in her first, kind of cutting a promo to everybody that she's going to win. And I'm the class of the women's division, until Natalya came out to be number 2. And then they went at it for a while.
Yeah, surprisingly, they were both in it for quite a while. Natalya lasted longer. It was still great effort by both of them.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of surprises in there. You had Kairi Sane and Io Shirai called up.
Yeah, Charlotte was
just the one match.
A doppelganger for Lacey Evans. Yeah. They were staring at each other. Who you are? You're me, I'm you. No! It was crazy. No. Yeah, they had a lot of NXT. The Riot Squad decided to work as a team after Liv got the first thrown out at number 4. Boom. And then Sarah got thrown out. So when Ruby went in, they came down and took everybody out of the ring, grabbed them by their feet, and beat them up so it would be easier for Ruby to throw out. Again, a very heelish move. And boy, my wife, for what it's worth, she was giving them hell. Lucky that she wasn't in that ring. So.
Yeah, and it was an okay Rumble.
It was pretty good. There was some surprises.
Was very interesting.
With Nia finishing coming in at 29 and not winning was impressive. But we kind of knew that Becky was going to win after she got in for Lana, who was too hurt from Nakamura Rusev hitting her when Nakamura was supposed to be there and he moved. So she played off her ankle, or maybe it was really hurt, but I don't think it was as hurt as what she was walking on.
Yeah.
And Becky got in there, which didn't make sense of her having to ask to go in the ring, and was allowed to go into the ring by Finlay, because usually if somebody's out and they just get into it, the referee has to accept them as that number. Of all the course of the time that we've watched the Rumble in 20 years, that's the way it's always been. So this was a little bit, why are you asking to me? But it went on. Becky went in, ended up getting out Charlotte last.
Yeah, the final 3, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, as expected.
Yeah, Nia got thrown out by both Charlotte and Becky. Then Becky hurt her knee. She had fallen outside, and they were going to call the whole thing off and award it to Charlotte. And she said, no, giving to Charlotte. And she got in. They brawled. Charlotte ended up getting out, with Becky clinching the win, where she was hobbled and she could barely walk after the brutal match with Asuka and in the Royal Rumble. But congratulations, Becky, for winning.
Yeah, it was well-deserved. Well-deserved. She's been one of the best wrestlers all year long. The next match, they went to Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
Yes, and that was, again, another Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles match.
Yeah, it started off real slow, probably because the crowd was so excited for the last match, kind of giving them a chance to rest.
They flattened them out with AJ and Daniel, and it just was too many times. They wanted to say something new, and I know AJ won to be the number 1 contender, but they're giving him the same food every day for a month. You get tired of it after a while. And I just didn't get into it. Yes, the ending was different. Rowan surprised me, but as soon as I saw that, I said, oh, he's going to be with Wyatt. So Tuesday, I expect you're going to see the rest of the Wyatt family come back on SmackDown, but I can't confirm that. And that's the only rumor tip that I'll give on this one about what's coming up for the next ones.
Yeah, Eric Rowan interfered. He sat outside and watched for a little while. It was kind of weird. The camera guy was just showing him watching them.
But he interfered. AJ lost and moved on to the next championship match, which was actually much better than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
thinking that it would be another Brock versus AJ.
Brock versus anyone.
And Brock, right? Brock versus anyone. Brock versus Daniel Bryan, where he starts off kicking their ass. They come back, make a big move, and maybe get their finisher and get everybody excited and lose anyway. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really into watching this particular match, especially the way Vince was yelling at him, talking him down, saying you can't beat him, and everybody's just saying that because I'm tired of hearing all the negativity from people, and then with Heyman saying it, this isn't a prediction, this is a spoiler. Okay, every time he says spoiler, guys, realize he's telling you the spoiler. So it was, okay, a little different.
Yeah, you had Brock and Finn fighting, but Finn actually looked pretty good in this whole match. There was very little points where you felt that he couldn't win. He
got hurt every time Brock touched him because Brock is a monster and Finn is a tiny human, but not really tiny. He's just normal.
Yeah, Brock picked him up like he was a 10-pound bag of potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
But my funny part was not really funny, but when Brock ran, got tossed or pushed into the announce table and it hit him in his groin area, which it may not have hit him in the nuts, but it was just as good as hitting him in the nuts. Yeah. He's had stomach surgery and on diverticulitis, and that it hurts the whole lower abdomen. So when you take a shot like that, it's just like getting punched in the nuts.
Yeah, it was actually incredible to see that he took it twice.
Yeah, I actually fell out my chair laughing. Said, "Oh boy, you're gonna lose to the little man." But he didn't. He managed. But I figured, it was just a matter of time before Brock suplexed him to death and it was over.
Yeah, and that really didn't happen either. Finn was taking control. He tried to pin him. Brock got out of the pin and went into the Kimura lock, and
that was
Finn
the end.
Tapped out.
That's all she wrote. But then Brock came back. He was pissed because, he didn't put him in Suplex City. He didn't give him an F5. And, well, he was hurting. He came back to give him all that to remind him that he's still the beast. And then the match ended. We went on to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, the Men's Royal Rumble match started off really, really well, actually. I liked you had Elias starting the show, which for him to even be in the match, that's a pretty good way to start it. And then you had a surprise entrant. Jeff Jarrett came in at number 2, guys.
Double J decided to show himself, and at first I thought it was just a great Legends, one-time wonder inside the ring when I read that he signed a contract. And I just really, why? Jeff, you were okay 25 years ago, but that's why I want to remember you 25 years ago when you were really good way back then. Now they're going to use you to get people over, and you're just going to look kind of disgraced with a few, smart little quips here and there, and that's all. I hope the money's worth it. But, yeah, he didn't last long. He got hit with the guitar, and he was thrown out.
Yep. And then number 3 came in. So Jeff Jarrett was out pretty quickly. Kurt Angle came in at number 4. He was surprised.
That was a surprise, Kurt Angle. And then, I don't know, it just didn't really catch like the women's one. There didn't seem to be more than 4 or 5 people in the ring at the same time until number 22, 23. And then it started to build up. Unlike where in the women's, it built up in the 10, right after 10 to 20. They were starting to get some more wrestlers in the ring, and it made it look more like a Rumble instead of a tornado tag team match.
Yeah. It was okay. You had quite a few surprises. You had Johnny Gargano come in for that match, which I didn't expect, especially after winning on
the North American Championship. Yeah. And then Aleister Black came in, and it was surprised to see him and Drew go at it.
Yeah.
I like that. That was great.
Yeah, that'll be a really interesting thing to see if they follow up with that later on in the year.
I hope they do. That would be great. WrestleMania, Aleister Black versus Drew McIntyre. Whoa.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Because we know the winner of this match was Seth Rollins. He got thrown out through a table, but not over the top rope.
Wait, we got to let them know, though. Lashley went into the arena, into the match. He lasted 12 seconds thanks to Seth Rollins throwing him out. It almost looked to me that he wasn't supposed to get out right away, as he was looking at his hand like, what the hell just happened? Did something slipped or snapped? But it was 12 seconds. When Seth was looking the way, Bobby pulled him by his ankles and took him out of the ring, and they proceeded to suplex him and beat him and put him through a table.
Yep. So he sat outside the ring most of the match.
After that, he was not in until the end. Yes.
Right. The last couple were him and Braun, and at that point, I felt like Braun was going to win it. Braun replaced John Cena. In case you guys didn't know, he had a hurt ankle.
So he says.
So he says. Number 30 though was really interesting. You had Nia Jax come in.
Nia beat up.
She attacked R-Truth. Yeah.
He started singing, "What's up, you?" Boom.
So, I mean, I never expected to see her come in the match. I felt like R-Truth deserved that spot, though, so I don't know why WWE would do that.
Because he's not going to win anything. He's not going to headline WrestleMania.
No,
and so why would you put him in a position that he legitimately would have a chance to be in WrestleMania?
Right, but
let's take that out and let's make this woman get in here, because good attention, bad attention, it's all attention.
Yeah.
It's going to get noise one way or the other, but if you just sent R-Truth in, the rest of the night would be over because somebody won and not talking about it. That's why. Good business, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, not a good move for me as a fan.
Yeah, you're not going to get me to like the idea of Nia going to be this generation's China and fight guys, and
Yeah, you had Mustafa Ali there confused for a second because he didn't know, can I hit her, can I not? And
that's the right answer.
The whole moral thing about the woman being in the Rumble is
no women beating, fake or not.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it.
No.
But she did okay until R-Truth I'm sorry, Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton.
Randy Orton gave her an RKO. First, Dolph gave her a super kick. Randy gave her the RKO. Ray gave her the 619, and she tried to hold on out there, and then Ray did a base slide kick and pushed her off the side, and she was done.
Yep. So I mean, there were still quite a few superstars in the ring once number 30 came in. So that was really interesting.
That left Andrade. It left
Mysterio and Orton.
And was it Mysterio and Orton, or was it Dolph and Orton?
Dolph was in there too.
And then when Andrade came after him, there was three guys on Braun. Braun picked up Andrade, who was in front of him, and just literally threw him over the top rope from picking him up and dropping him. And then he was done.
Yeah. Yeah, Braun looked really strong here, but what do you expect from a guy his size?
Right. And then, as you've seen in other main Royal Rumbles where the smaller guy grabs the big guy by the head in a leg lock and twists him over the top rope, that's what happened again.
Seth tried that. Then they fought on the apron for a little while. Seth gave him a curb stomp.
Boom!
Braun goes to the floor. Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble. They end the show with Rollins pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Just like they do every year, but it was really enjoyable. So,
and that's our update on this year's 2019 Royal Rumble recap for WWE. And for what it's worth, that's all we got today. If you have any questions, comments, feel free, leave them below. And please, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, click like, and ring the bell for notifications. And you'll know for what it's worth on any topic that we use coming up in the near future. So, for what it's worth, I'm Mike. That's Justin. Have a great one.